Hello, everyone. Welcome to. There's a fruit fly in here. Well, that's going to drive me nuts. Welcome to the Cozy Fantasy Beach Reads panel. As we wait for folks to start trickling in, how's everyone doing on this lovely Sunday? I guess Monday for you, Haylock.
Thank you for the inclusion.
Of course. Everyone's doing all right? Everyone's happy?
Yeah, doing great. Yeah. Slightly jet lagged.
Yeah.
Got back from a long trip yesterday.
Ooh, where'd you go?
Oh,
I was in Italy. A friend of mine was getting married in Assisi.
Oh,
a long flight back
wow.
from Italy to the West Coast. So
yeah.
yeah.
That would be a
Was
long
the pasta
flight.
worth the jet lag?
I think it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
So much pasta.
I love it so much. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the stream, everybody. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves and our books as well. So we want to start with Kate. To my right? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kate. I write cozy, witchy, fantasy, and romance. My most recent book is coming out this week. It's called A Nest of Magic,
Yay.
which is a sapphic cozy fantasy I'm really excited about. And that's me in a nutshell.
Am I next? Sorry.
Sure. We'll just go around.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Julie. I'm the author of The Teller of Small Fortunes, which is a cozy fantasy about an immigrant fortune teller. And then my next book, set in the same world, comes out in 3 days, actually. So Kate, you and I are both co-released with Super Magic things.
Oh, you guys are so organized. Or it just worked out.
Okay. We'll do Elle next. I'll give you a second.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I'm Elle. I have a couple different cozy fantasy series. One of them mixes mystery and one of them mixes romance. But the one I'm here for today is marine magic. So it is cozy fantasy and beachy vibes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so as you guys were holding up your books, I was like, where is my book? It was wrapped in saran wrap and I was using it as a laptop stand. My bad. Yeah. I was mentioning to the my lovely co-panelists, I'm interstate currently at a convention. So everything is a little unpacked. That's a long way of saying I write cozy fantasy. The only series I have out is Heretical Fishing, which is as I also said to the co-panels, I'm still waking up.
All good.
It's a cozy fantasy. There's fantasy, cozy, intrigue, and fish.
Yeah.
And fish.
And fish.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm Jen. I am a Canadian fantasy author and content creator. I have 3 books out. They're all in a standalone companion series. They're called the Airmount books. We have a second story. We have A Little Luck and A Favored Fae. And they are all technically set by the sea because Airmount is a seaside town. And I love it very dearly. I love it very dearly. I love it so much. Anyways, all right. So this first question is a bit of a fun question because I know the panel itself is called Beach Reads, which originally I was like, Beach Reads to me are like thriller, but okay. And then I read the description and I was like, oh, it's a play on words. We're talking about setting, we're talking about by the water and all that kind of stuff. So, but I wanted to know, what do you think makes a perfect beach read in general? Doesn't have to be cozy. We can start with anybody.
Oh, it's dog out. The dog doesn't want to start.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. Honestly, I think any read to me is a beach read. I live on the beach, so I try and do at least a bit of beach reading once a day. I try and go down for at least an hour at some point, as long as it's not cyclonic or if there's a single drop of rain, I'm out. I'm piecing it. But yeah, no, something about it. It's physically reading on the beach is lovely. Yeah.
That sounds really nice. I wish I could say the same, but in San Francisco, the beaches we have are frigidly cold. And so you really only go wearing full-on wetsuits if you're
yeah. So maybe you can set up one of those those tents people use to ice fish in. The little heater and all that.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah.
Technically beach reading.
Yeah. I live in the prairies, so to get to any beach, you have to drive at least an hour and a half. So it's I mean, I'm technically here now because I'm at my cabin. I'm at the lake, but it is a lake and it's cold.
Yeah, so you don't do like a once a day, 3-hour round trip for your daily beach read?
Unfortunately, no, because for 10 months of the year, we're covered in a lot of snow and cold. So,
Yeah.
I think for me,
What about the rest of you?
don't do a ton of beach reading, but I feel like the ideal beach read would be somewhere on either end of the spectrum of like cozy to stressful. Because either you read something super stressful and then you like look up from the book and you're like, I'm in a beautiful island sanctuary and everything's good. Or you're reading something very cozy and it's like, okay, this fits in with the beach vibe. And so it's like one or the other to really bring out the contrast or the complementary.
I like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool way to think of it. I have to admit, I'm more in the camp of like everything is a beach read, especially we were just talking about this before we went live, but I come from the West Coast, Puget Sound, where it is very cold and you really just go to the beach to like walk on the beach. And now I live in New Jersey where you can go to a nice, warm, sunny beach. And I think that I'm still so amazed by that I'm like, sure, I'll sit here and read anything. Like,
I love that. How about you, Kate?
For me, I think anything that's escapist qualifies as a beach read. And I think what's escapist is probably individual to each person. So whatever floats your boat at the beach.
I love it. I love it. All right. I don't know. I think to me, mostly beach reads would be anything super thrilling so that you could like get through it in one sitting and get through it really quickly. Because when I'm on vacation or I'm at the beach or whatever, I don't know, I'm one of those people that brings like 10 books with me, but gets through like maybe half of one because I'm like, I'm just here. Don't have any brain for this. But I love the idea of cozy being a beach read as well, just because especially because there's a lot of settings in cozy that have beaches or very coastal or what have you, which I love. And there's a lot of, I don't think I've read a lot of like epic fantasy books that have big bodies of water unless they're specifically piratey, which is interesting.
Or it's like an obstacle. They're like, there's the big body of water. Yeah. How do we get across? It's not like this, lovely lake. It's like this, like, I can't see the other side.
And they're definitely monsters.
Yes, absolutely. 1%. Yes, my words are not functioning. Absolutely 100%. There we go. You got it. We got there. A kraken somewhere in the sea,
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. So what do you guys think makes, specifically with settings and cozy, what do you think makes the seaside so particularly cozy? Whether that is somewhere like the Cliffs of Moher or on a beautiful sunny Australian beach, or like, what do you think it makes it so cozy?
I think it's have a lot of character a lot of the time. And I think because as readers, we have this storage of memories of things that we've seen in media or in person of like little beachside towns with an ice cream shop and digging in the sand and building sandcastles. So we already have all these wonderful memories that we can access that are cozy. And then you can just build that right into something that's a cozy fantasy when you add magic.
I love that.
I think there's also something about the water itself in the same way that like sleeping somewhere by the beach and hearing the ocean at night is just a really soothing thing. I don't know. I guess if I were inclined to philosophy, I could opine about like, it's about the like permanence of something that is natural and will always be there regardless of what terrible things mankind does. But maybe it's just like also just, kind of nice to listen to the sound of the water and puts us in the right frame of mind for something cozy. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, something about like the juxtaposition of like having a big city versus like a smaller rambling beach town, or even like if there is a beach by a city, I'm thinking of like Vancouver, BC or something, like it just, when you get to the beach and it just slows right down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Feeling looking at the ocean is kind of like when you're looking up at a starry sky at night and you feel really small and the universe is really big. The ocean kind of does the same thing.
No, yeah, 100%. It's like it's unfathomable, and I think the reason why why beaches are a wonderful setting for cozy and why we see so many is because it's all of these things. Like it's ingrained in many people for that to be like even if you haven't gone to the beach yourself on holiday, it's in all that pop culture. Like the relaxation episode is like, we're going to the beach, and like the ocean is this entire like unfathomable thing And also, I think another reason is because of the sensations we associate with the seaside. There's a lot of really strong, calming, like physical, every sense, like touch, smell, sight, whether it's the like sand blowing against the bottom of your leg, or like touching the water, or the sound of the ocean and the gulls, or even just like the food we eat on the beach, because we're generally on vacation, so people can eat like the sweet treat without feeling guilty. It's like an amalgamation, I think, which really draws readers and writers to that setting.
I like that. I like that explanation.
Yeah, that's really lovely, and it kind of goes. What I was thinking too is like life at the beach tends to be very colorful, like not just the water and the sand, which we are there and appreciating, but also like beach umbrellas, the boardwalk if you're at a kind of a Jersey Shore type beach. It's just it's a lot more playful and bright.
I like that explanation, yeah, because it's thinking of like...
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, there's just something about a beach as well. And if you think also like necessarily like there's always the beach, like vacation coastal stuff that you'd see in media, like The Summer I Turned Pretty is by a beach, right, with a beach house. And then you have also the port towns and like the commerce that happens there. So you get not only the colorfulness of a beach, but you also get colorful of life. There's so many different kinds of people that come to a beach and all come together. And whether they have nothing to do with each other, they're all there experiencing the same moment. And I think that's pretty cool. So what in particular do you guys like to do when you're setting out to create your settings? I know like Haylock, you live in Australia by beaches. it's every day.
Yeah, I didn't have to get too creative.
But what for all of you like really inspired you to use these coastal or beach or water settings in your work?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was, obviously the fact of living there and growing up with it and finding so much relaxation there. But I think it was, so the beach was like and fishing as well were the first things that I really, like before I discovered meditation or anything, like even, 10, 15 years ago, like I would do it by accident. It was like the only time where I would do like practice mindfulness before like knowing what mindfulness was, right? Because you're doing it, you're like just standing like up to your ankles in the water and like having a finger on like a fishing line, and like that's all you can really focus on. There's no time for my mind, which is like, man, it does not shut up, but it does then, right? Like that's the only like, it was the only time before I actively started practicing it where I would sort of be really present. So I think that was sort of the thing that really drew me there and wanted me to explore that setting more and try and like put those aspects into the setting.
I think, to be honest, I feel like a little bit of an imposter on this panel because The Color of Small Fortunes isn't super beachy. I don't want to mislead folks. It's kind of a journey through this kingdom. And they do pass through many different places, one of which happens to be this kind of coastal marketplace, port town, like what you're describing, Jen. And that particular, that's just one segment of the journey, but that particular part of the world was actually inspired by a real place near where I live. So like I mentioned, I live in San Francisco, and there's a beautiful drive up and down the coast that goes kind of down to LA. And I was doing a road trip one time, and we passed through this small town called Morro Bay. Have any of you heard of it?
No.
It's a really cute town. It's like a cute little fishing town, has good ice cream and all these other things. But its most distinctive feature, which I then shamelessly just put into my book as this kind of port town's distinguishing feature, is that it smells terrible. Lovely town, highly recommend visiting. It's not the town's fault, but it has this like old volcanic plug, this like giant mound of rock just outside the bay that is essentially a porta potty for what seems to be the United States' entire population of seagulls, which is covered in seagull poop, and you can smell the thing from like miles away. And so I decided my port town was going to smell very, very bad because why not? But it's a great place. Sorry, I don't mean to throw shade up more.
I love it. Because I mean, you have seaside towns and you have ports and you have commerce there, and it's gonna smell briny. It's gonna smell fishy, right? Like there's gonna be an interesting scent to it if you get into certain parts of it. So I love that.
I think.
Go ahead.
All right. Sorry, no. I think for me, in a similar fashion to what you were saying, Haylock, like I grew up with the beach and I grew up being very fascinated with sea creatures and things. But the picking the setting for for my series, I think actually came more from the feeling that I would get once I was here in New Jersey and going to the beach with my partner. Like, it was such a part of their family tradition. Like, they would go every year for a couple weeks and they'd completely hang out and just relax. And their family, his family, it just amazes me. I come from a different background. And just for me, it was like this thing that I already love, but now mixed with just like this wonder of this is so, this is so comfortable. This is so lovely. And it obviously, like, as we were talking, like a beach setting has a lot of elements that then support that feeling. So it works out really well. But for me, it was kind of chasing that feeling.
I love that. How are you, Kate?
I was born in an East Florida coastal town called Daytona Beach. And so when I went to choose a setting for my beachy, cozy fantasy, which starts with silver spells, I went back to Daytona and I drove around and I went to all the places I'd been to as a kid, and I started reimagining everything, but with magic on top. And so I actually ended up calling it Sparkle Beach, and the sand sparkles, and it's sort of just a reimagined childhood dream of where I grew up.
That's so lovely. I love that, because it's like snow and sand to me, because Canada, I live in a very snowy place, but snow and sand to me are like two sides of the same coin in a way, because when the sun hits it in the right way, they look so cool. They just glitter as they go.
Yeah.
And I love that. I particularly picked a more coastal side of things because I wanted my story to be, my first one anyways, the second story was like they're going there for a vacation. They're going there to like kind of clock out, and then it ends up being like it's a port town as well. So it's got a lot of people. It's got very interesting people, and that's kind of why I picked it, because I wanted not just like, oh, they're in the woods with the wood elves. No, they're going to be in a place with so many different kinds of people. We have fiendlings, we got people with air elementals and people made out of water, like it makes it so cool and interesting and vibrant. That's why I kind of went with that. And I was inspired by a lot of the European towns like Brighton and I think it's Robin Hood's Cove. Like, they're just beautiful places that have just a beautiful picturesque scene. And I've like, even though I live in the dab smack middle of the prairies, I love a lot of places like, I have never been there, but like the east coast of Canada, where we have like PEI and all those really coastal maritime places. Just seeing media of those places, it just looks so quaint and cozy, and I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but that kind of brings me to our next question. What makes setting in a cozy fantasy, whether that is coastal, whether that is not, cozy to you? Like, what elements do you like to bring in? What elements do you like to read? What makes it cozy?
Food. Definitely food.
Plus one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
What about the food? What makes it so cozy?
I don't know, just having something that makes you feel happy to eat, whatever that may be, whether it's sweet or savory or it's a cute little bakery or something. Anything like that can make it feel cozy.
Yeah, I think it's because eating is such like a communal thing, and so much of cozy fantasy is often about community or this feeling of found family. And so kind of like breaking bread and, sharing meal across the table is something that we associate with comfort. I think in a similar vein, for me, I find really cozy when you're somewhere warm and comfortable and safe. And there's like the big, wide, scary world outside the windows and, the darkness beyond, but you're near the fireplace and near the hearth. And that kind of like contrast between, yes, there's darkness and there's scary things and the unknown out there, but you are right now, here and now, somewhere safe and with people who care about you. That's kind of the most important theme setting. So like taverns and, caves and campfires and things like that. To me, it's very cozy.
I love that.
Sorry to latch onto the food again, considering it's like about setting.
It just comes with it. It does.
Yeah, no, it totally does. But there's also like the contrast with cozy fantasy and regular fantasy, where most of the fantasy, I would say, that I've read, the food is always just like it's there. You know, it's like we're doing like the travel log, we're adventuring, we have jerky, we have like the most basic of rations, and then like
Deal
to come
bread
over
and
cozy
cheese.
fantasy, and it's like, hey, I went to this fantasy world and I invented croissants. Like it's the contrast is like wonderful to me, and definitely makes me feel good. Yeah, very cozy.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like all the different feasts that some of the old fantasy books used to describe. Like I'm thinking like Tolkien, him and his descriptions. So good.
Yeah, and then you get like
Brian Jakes.
George R. R. Martin, who makes it like almost grotesque, like with the like the fat dripping, and you know you get like
It's
this
over
2
the
pages of just
top.
like.
It's like, do I want to eat this food, or am I supposed to be disgusted right now? Like, what's happening?
No, I think a lot of the time he's intentionally trying to make you feel bad, and he does a wonderful job at it.
Have you guys read the Red Bones by Brian Jakes? All of the little mice in their abbey and their cheeses and the cordials and the hot root soup. Yeah.
They actually made a cookbook for that series. There was so much food in it.
I heard. Yeah, I have to look it up and figure out what hot root soup even is. Sounds amazing.
I love that. It does. How about you, Elle?
I'd say obviously yes, but also a cozy setting. I think there's a little element of wish fulfillment in there, right? Like, what's the bookshop I would want to go to, you know, or what's the boardwalk, you know, attraction that I really wish was an actual thing. Like, there's just that little element of fun, I think, that helps draw people in.
I agree. I was thinking like there's always something interesting also with like weather and using different kind of weathers in your books, because everyone like when you're thinking of something cozy and warm, you're like, oh, I'm at the beach and it's sunny and it's warm, but it's not like burning my skin warm. It's just like the perfect weather where I could go swimming, all this kind of stuff. And then I think about the fact that I wrote my second book in like misty autumnal, and I'm like, oh, but that's a whole other level of cozy. I say as I'm in the middle of a very misty, rainy day, and it's like all the autumnal colors are outside. So I think it's so interesting that like something like the beach or these kind of settings that we have can be made cozy by just these little tweaks, like adding delicious foods and smells, or like having a beautiful cup of tea, being surrounded by wonderful people, or having a really rainy storm outside, like just different things that people find cozy in different ways. And I kind of love that. So how about we go through and we talk about how you guys like to create your settings as you go through, talking a little bit about world building. What do you like to do when you're setting out to create these cozy places?
I mean, I can start, but I'm a bad first choice.
Someone, one of you.
I'm a very vibes-based world builder. I'm not somebody who sits down and like makes my world atlas and draws the map with the macaroni and like writes an encyclopedia of all the rules. I'm kind of, I start with the characters and then I kind of fill in the world a little bit at a time around them. And so I'm kind of figuring out and like discovering new parts of my world as I write more books in them. Which I think I like a little bit of vagueness, such that I never write myself into a corner. Like, oh no, in book 1 I wrote this thing, and now I have to go back and fix in book 4. This makes no sense. So I think a little mystery is okay, you know, like the fog of war kind of thing with world building, or at least, you know, it's been what's working for me.
No, definitely. I like it as an element as well. Like it can be a real, you know, another source of intrigue for the reader if you sort of set that up in a way where it slowly comes out. And that's very much the way I sort of design not just my setting but my everything, I suppose. Actually, I'll keep it to setting because that was the actual question. But yeah, it's like the slow I try not to I let myself like go with ideas and try not to go too specific unless I'm like really sure on something, but also not lock myself in. Like if I'm, you know, a third of the way through a manuscript and like another third through, I go like, oh, hang on, like what if it was this instead? I try to like take some time to really thoughtfully go away and think about that rather than being like, nope, this is the rules. Like we have to follow this. Unfortunately for me, that means the editing process can be a little more intense. But it's sort of the process I've come to accept, I think. Yeah. So like going with the setting just like comes to me as the rest of the story does. I like to set like a little outline for it and be like, hey, this is the setting, here's the world, here's the rules, but it can, you know, shift, it can, you know, spin on a dime.
Can meander here and there.
Much like myself, yes.
No, I'm going to add the third vote for this sort of like discovering the setting as you go along.
Yeah,
And,
one of us.
yeah. And at this point, I mean, because all of my series are all set in the same world, so I by this point I've written quite a bit about you know different aspects, different towns, different whatever. So I do have to keep track of what I've said. So I do have like a series Bible or like a book Bible or whatever, but. It's mostly a place where things get added afterward. After I'm like, oh, you know what would be really cool? Or, oh, you know what they need to do right now? There needs to be a post office. Like, yeah.
I like that.
I'm almost a setting first kind of writer. I often have the setting before I have literally anything else. For example, my most recent book, I'm not an outdoorsy person, never have been, but there is a nature preserve a few miles away from my house, and I thought, I've lived here for a decade, I've never been there, so I thought I'll go take a walk through it. And I walked into this nature preserve, and the way that it looks is like a green maze made out of trees with white sand paths through it. And as soon as I got far into it enough where I couldn't see outside of it and I was inside the maze, I knew instantly I'm going to set a book here. And so to work on that, like I would work on any setting, I ended up going back over and over and over and walking through the maze and absorbing the setting that way. So I'm very hands-on with settings. I like to go there and poke around and look at everything.
That's so cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so handy that it's like right down by your house too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a vibes first person or like I usually come at stories either with like a hook or a clincher or the characters, whatever like kind of idea pops in my mind, and then I play with it and mush it around. But for my cozies, I did have a world built already because I was running D&D campaigns in it. So for my friends, but it was an entirely different part of the world. It was very northern, very icy. And then I was just like, I know that there's a beach town over here. You know what would be nice? Just like spiraled from there, and Aramount became the heart of most of my cozies. But yeah, I think it depends on the story for me about like how I go about my world building, which is really interesting.
Can I say one thing about settings? I'm curious for all of your takes. Geographical distances, to me, not cozy. Least favorite thing about world building is having to figure out how far away certain things are and how many days it takes on foot, with a wagon, with the horse. Is the horse supernaturally strong? If only I could just leave hand and magic away all concept of distance and time.
Yeah.
You can see all the vibes riders not along, like when they tie us down and make us decide on something.
Yeah. Just see my Google search history. It's like, how many miles a day can a horse walk carrying a person who weighs this much?
It immediately takes the magic out of it. Yeah. No, I do the thing where I'm like, okay, I know reasonably I want this to take 2 weeks. So how do I plan this out? If I have like someone sending a letter somewhere, I'm like, okay, how long does feasibly feel to work, and then just vibes.
Like, we're writers. What are you doing making this game?
Math? What's math doing in here?
Yeah, which throwing back to what Elle said, if there's any aspiring authors in the chat, a world Bible, you really need one of those. If that looks like, unfortunately, I was so bad with it until I finally got an assistant, and then world Bibles, so helpful, amazing. When you're like, hey, how long was it to here? The old process was like, I was like, which manuscript was that? Maybe 2. Control F, this village. I'm like, not that one. Book 3, Control F, this village, and then like, oh, a butterfly, and then I should get some tea. And I come back and it's like, what was I?
Oh my god!
The neurodivergent
turbo ADHD. Like, the sooner you can get a world Bible going, if you're writing a series, cannot recommend that highly enough.
Especially for descriptions.
Or you can do like me, and you can get to the last book in the series and not have a world Bible, and then completely panic and have to reread the whole thing in a hurry and take notes.
Yeah, audiobook on ×3.
I was spoiled and I did not have a world Bible, but it turns out my publisher, when you get to the copy editor stage, one of the amazing magical things that a copy editor does, in addition to actually copy editing, is put together this 15-page document that's like a timeline of the world, every character that's ever been mentioned by name and who they are, and like the places and the distances. And so I kind of got handed a world Bible, and I was like, God bless you. Like, I'm learning things about my world that I did not know.
I love that. I've heard that. And I'm like, that sounds wrong. What do you mean copy editors do that? I have glossaries at the back of my books for everything. And for like character lists and stuff. And the amount of times I've forgotten a character name in my own book. And I'm just like, what do you mean I forgot?
Yeah.
Pull a book off my shelf and figure it out myself. Yes.
Do you do like the placeholder name thing? I'm like chronic for that. I'll be like name, and I'll mark it with an asterisk or an and, depending on gender. Like asterisk and or both.
I do.
Oh yeah. So
because there's like very little words, if any, in the English language that have a T and a K right next to each other, so you can find them all easily.
These are great.
Or I highlight it, or I highlight it in the color.
Yeah.
I always think I'm using a placeholder name, and then I just put a whatever name, and I'm like, oh, that'll just be a placeholder. But the problem is when you write, the name grows on you, and then I can't change them. So
that happens. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I've sent a few chapters out on my Patreon with those in, and it's a bit of a recurring joke to be like, oh, like they'll try and like work out which one it was. They'll be like, name one. Okay, they haven't been here for a while. Who would talk like this? It's like a little detective thing going on.
Or you go into draft 3 after sending it to betas, and someone goes, this person was never mentioned again, and I go, oh, I forgot I created that person. Oh no. They're in one chapter, then they're never mentioned again. That's yeah. Or
the pressure of being a god.
Literally. In my latest book, I have this guy who's just a dick. He's the worst. And in my head, I picture him like Draco Malfoy because of his blonde hair. But I've described him with black hair. And every once in a while, I would flip it to blonde. And my like betas and my friend who was editing my book was like, bestie. I was like, my brain.
I thought you were going to say that you named the dickish character Dick.
I did not. I named him Damien. So, D, it works. Another question about like how you guys create setting. Do you in your cozies, or have you in your cozies, set out to specifically use a setting because it's cozy? Like, do you think about your setting and go, oh, this is so cozy, I must make it cozy in this book? Or do you just set something somewhere and work the cozy with the characters and the family and all that kind of stuff and the plot? Does setting matter in the cozy for you guys?
I think in my first book, in The Teller of Small Fortunes, I would say no, because I wasn't really like, I'm going to write a cozy fantasy. It was more just I wanted to write something that felt a little nostalgic and that took a very stereotypical, like familiar feeling medieval Europe fantasy world, but put an immigrant main character in it. But my second book, definitely more so. So The Keeper of Magical Things, I was like, I want to write a Stardew Valley fantasy book. I want like the farming village and the side quests and the side characters. And so the book ended up kind of being built up around this like, rundown village in disrepair that gets built up again.
Amazing.
That was definitely more intentional.
I love that. I can't wait to pick up your book in 3 days. Oh my God. I love Teller, so I'm so ready.
Thank you.
No, I get that. I get that comparison with Stardew Valley a lot too. But we probably are different types of players. I'm the one that like every time I play, I'm like, I'm gonna actually have a farm this time, and then cut to me like 12 hours later, just like no sleep, fishing on the beach again. It's obviously like there's definitely like a sort of a confirmation bias, but a lot of my readers are the same people. Like they're also the person that in whatever game they're playing, they just end up finding themselves fishing. So they're all like, wow, this is exactly like Stardew Valley, and I'm like, but the farming though is kind of like it's not there, right? So maybe like between our two books, we have like a full playthrough going on.
Yeah,
maybe
we just need like someone to come through with mining.
Yeah, somebody's like the mining of Minas Tirith comes in.
Yeah, so whichever of you three want to jump on that, feel free.
I do have a series that has to do with the mind, but you guys, I play one video game, and it's not Stardew Valley, so I don't know how well.
What is it?
Well, yeah, you have to tell us what it is.
Okay, I play Final Fantasy XIV.
Good
And
choice.
I played it for years. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, wonderful fishing system.
It's true, very true, actually, and I love it. Yeah.
You're a very single-minded person.
Yeah.
Can I say though, I love the fishing in video games. I have a bone to pick, which is that it misled me to believe that fishing was way easier than it is. Like I've gone for life now a half dozen times and never caught anything.
Yeah, there can be a lot like there's much fewer dopamine hits than the
yeah, I'm like, where's the air bubble? I'm pressing
games.
X. I'm pressing X. Where's my fish?
Meanwhile, I would go fishing with my dad when I was little, and I'm vegetarian now, and probably would have been then if I could. And so we would spend the entire time while we were fishing just praying, like, please don't let us catch anything. Please don't let us catch anything.
Yeah, if he catches one, make it too big, make it too small to keep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have definitely dialed up the cozy on occasion intentionally. The main character in my new book, A Nest of Magic, I knew from the beginning that she loved chocolate, and she had a kitchen cabinet that she kept stocked with chocolate. But when I went through on a second pass on that manuscript, I'm like, we need to dial up the chocolate. So it became officially named the Cabinet of Chocolate, and I'm talking capital C, Cabinet of Chocolate, capitalized for C there.
Stunning.
And she had a complete backstock of every type of chocolate bar, special cocoa powder, chocolate-covered pretzels, you name it. She was fully stocked with the official Cabinet of Chocolate. So I was very happy with that edit because I felt like it made it even cozier with the chocolate coziness.
Chocolate makes everything cozier.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cheat code.
Absolutely.
Add some chocolate to your setting.
Chocolate, tea,
Yeah.
pastries, done. You're good. Maybe some cinnamon. Who knows? All right. What other settings do you think, like besides something coastal, would you like to see more of in cozies? What kind of settings would be really interesting to you to see in a cozy book?
I would love to see settings kind of drawing on other cultures besides the very common Western European or, Anglo-Saxon settings. Because like there's a ton of Asian fantasy that I'm a big fan of, for example, but most of what I read there is very much in kind of the epic realm or the romantasy realm. And I think it'd be really fun just to see a cozy set in like some Asian imperial court, like some court drama, also cozy or something like that. And maybe
that would be so fun.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing I've come to seeing a cozy set in something like other than like the very cozy genre that's happening in a lot of Japanese translated stuff, like Before the Coffee Gets Cold and all of those, or The Cat Who Saved Books, like those like are very specific, but they're very urban, if not completely contemporary. So I would love to see more like fully fantasy inspired by a lot of
or like cozy Southeast Asian, cozy Caribbean, cozy African. Like I feel like there's a world of possibility out there.
I think the only one I'm aware of is Beware of Chicken, which actually does it very well. Shout out Casual Farmer. I think he's on maybe a panel earlier, but yeah, he does it really well. It's a Eastern setting, rural Eastern setting.
Nice.
Like
There's also one I know by Tao Wong, who is the writer of The First Step, but I think he has one that's an offshoot of kind of a series called The Nameless Restaurant that is like has the most amazing descriptions of Malaysian food, and I'm a Chinese Malaysian, and so it was just I was like salivating reading his book. It was so good.
Yeah, I've heard from everyone, or people like that are familiar with that culture, that Tao's writing is, he's obviously a native, but on top of that, he writes it really well. It's one thing to know it, but he conveys it well.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Any other like micro places, maybe? Like, I don't know, a specific kind of.
I mean, the second someone starts talking, I forget the question, and I'm just like replying like to whatever they say. But to the actual question, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm not apologizing. This is how I am, but I'm just,
I love it.
Yeah, I want to see more. I want to see more weird settings. I think there's a lot of the thing with, like you mentioned earlier, Jen, about like tweaking the setting a little bit. Like a little misty area can be like, it can be haunting, it can be spooky, or it can be like just this lovely, like, oh, the breeze is so fresh. Like it's not like damp and gross. It's like refreshing and uplifting. So I think that can be done with a lot of settings. It sort of just comes down to the way that we specifically describe it. Like a volcano could be like horrifying, or a volcano could be like, to a dragon, like, oh yes, like a little lava hot pool, like, ooh, lovely. Like, yeah, like I want to see, I love seeing different things. So I would love to see people sort of more stories just exploring those sort of weird places.
I want to see a cozy graveyard. That'd be fun. Traditional haunting, cozy graveyard. Let's go.
Yeah.
Graveyard, yeah.
Talk about the way the love interest like crawls out of the earth. Ooh, stop.
Oh yeah. I think in,
so
like, in Victorian times, was it Victorian times? I'm not sure, but like it used to be a pastime of people to like actually go on strolls through graveyards because they were like considered like parks and stuff. It wasn't a creepy place. It was like a place to just go hang out. So
yeah. No, that'd be amazing. You know how like they used to put like the bell there just in case someone like actually wasn't dead, and like that's a very like macabre thing. But like the idea of your friend being like, ring a ding ding, like are you awake? I'm ready.
Hey bestie, a little vampire moment.
Yeah. Oh, I heard the bell. So I got crawled my way free. Amazing.
Hey.
Shoot. Peter Beagle has a story set in a graveyard that actually is really cute like that, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Shoot, but somebody has tried at least.
Yes.
So
there's at least one.
Missy put it in the chat as well. Yeah. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy is a cozy macabre graveyard. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Kate? Any settings that you'd like to see more of?
I'd like to see some more sci-fi. I know there's already some sci-fi out there, but I think there's just so much more that can be done. So I'm kind of hoping that some people will pick up that baton and run with it. A cozy little spaceship in outer space and show us what they could do with that.
Can I make a cozy sci-fi rec? Some of you might know it already, but The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August.
I've read that.
Okay, you all know it. Yeah.
So good. Anyone in the audience, it was so lovely and heartwarming and so queer. We love it.
I like it. It was great.
Oh, it was so good.
Sorry, what was that one again? I was looking for a pen and I forgot.
The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August. It's very much in the vein of like Becky Chambers, very affirming, bitter with the sweet. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's about the
audiobook. The audiobook is banging because anytime the characters come across, because the characters in that book are like they're like chasing after information essentially. And there's also another group of people who are also chasing after information around the universe and all these different planets that are abandoned and whatever. Whenever they come across these caches of information, there's like recording sounds that happen, and it sounds like you're actually listening to a recording in the audiobook. It's very cool. I love the audiobook of that one.
That's really I haven't listened to the audiobook. I have to check that out. There's also, if I need to pitch this any further, a cat in the spaceship with them.
Yeah, and he
has a little spacesuit.
He's very brave. He's brave as soul. He does vomit on the first page, so if anyone has emetophobia from that, so just be warned. But
I mean, realistic cat behavior.
I was going to say, so the cat's accurate.
Yes, he's very accurate. Love more cozy sci-fi for sure. I mean, anything Becky Chambers really just hits that for me. And I also recently read, I think she's coming out with the second one soon through Tor.com. Oh my God, why can't I remember?
Is it Elle Saga's Cascade Failure?
Nope, but that's also a really good one.
That's also
that's also a really good one. It's like a short, like kind of sci-fi mystery, but cozy in a world that is like kind of overlorded by an AI, and the AI is just chatting with with the main character who's like a detective.
Oh yeah. What's that one called?
I want to say the series name is Olivia Waite, Waite. I don't think that's the author name. I think that's the series name. Anyways, it's very good as well. But yes.
And Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, about a bunch of robots after the war who start a noodle shop.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Nice.
100%. All right, we're going to hop over to the questions that have come up in the chat. So if anyone here has a couple questions, we are running a little low on time because we just love to chat. But we're going to try to get through them. Lazy Dragon Books, Misty, I do believe. Do you read on the beach or just write about the beach? We did kind of answer this right at the beginning, but do you write on the beach? Do you read on the beach? What's your vibe?
There's a lot of ideating going on along the beach. Kind of. I walk along like the beach walk, so I'm not on the sand, but that's sort of like neat ideas or like too many ideas. Go walk, you know. Go walk, do think.
I will happily read on a beach, but writing on a beach, just practically speaking, like the glare of the sun, sand in my laptop.
The sand is
yeah.
All the sensations that are so lovely about the beach are like the worst when every 3 seconds you can get knocked out of flow. I like.
Very true.
Yeah,
I think
Sam, read on it, but not write on it.
Yeah.
Writers are very
time.
it seems.
Yeah, I need to be in my cave thinking with my typewriter.
Yeah.
Or not my typewriter, my mechanical keyboard. I think the only time I'd ever written on a beach would be in a notebook. And even then, my brain's not focused. I'm listening to seagulls.
Yeah.
Another one that came up here from Rebecca, specifically for Haylock. How much time do you spend fishing versus writing?
That's a good question, and it cycles a lot. It goes up and down. I used to be fish a lot, and then over the last couple of years, I sort of hadn't gone in months and months. I just sort of didn't really have the time. I also have like a young son, so I was trying to really focus. It's like writing or family, you know. That was life, and that still is life. But now my son likes fishing. So the last like few months, it's like it's all he wants to do. I'm like not exaggerating. It's like all he wants to do is go around and tick off new species, and try new places. So there's been a very direct injection of fishing into my veins over the last couple of months and for the foreseeable future. Yeah, Pokemon and fishing. It's a wonderful time. He's 5. Great age.
All right. This is for everybody. Do you have a fave cozy book for fall from Film Lover NYC?
I just finished beta reading for author Sydney Wilder, who wrote The Lone Wolf Cafe, that just came out. And it's a witch and a werewolf in Maine in the autumn, and it's got a bakery. So I can recommend that one. I enjoyed that one quite a lot.
I love that. What's it called? The one that's coming out?
The Lone Wolf Cafe.
Oh, the Lone Wolf. Okay. I thought you were talking about the bakery that you're doing. That was the perfect featuring. I mean, that would be great promo, but yes. The Lone Wolf Cafe. Amazing.
I'm having to Google what the book is called. This is the way my brain is.
I love it. I love it.
And I keep looking over at my bookshelf because I'm like, oh, there's too many. I don't know. I recently read Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. That was a very good, very kind of fall witchy book.
She's also a lovely person. I did an event with her in London last year.
Yeah, her first book, Rewitched, is like, read it in October because it is October in the book. Yeah,
Gilmore Girl vibes from all of Lucy's.
Yes.
Yeah. For me,
all right, I got there.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you go.
I was going to say, I can't remember when books are coming out because I read them like ahead of time and then I have no idea what the release dates are. But my fall comfort reads that I'll like just go to when I need to, be comforted. I'll reread anything from the Discworld books or any Agatha Christie. It's like Terry Pratchett, Agatha Christie. Give me one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, yeah, I agree completely. The one that sprung to my mind, weirdly enough, was Thornhedge by T.K. Knisha. It's not a new one. But
relatively.
Yeah, definitely. My brain was like, was the question ones that are coming out in fall?
No, just in general.
And my Australian brain is like, what season is fall again? Is that fall, when the leaves fall?
Spring for you guys.
No, yeah. Yeah, we got there eventually. But yeah, something about Thornhedge I really enjoyed, and something about fall reminded me of the surrounding forest in the setting. But yeah, I like that one. I recommend that one.
I love it. There's been so many wonderful cozies that just hit perfectly. I think the one that I read recently is Sangu Madana's newest release, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, because that one's set in like misty weather into winter. It crosses over Christmas. Or if you want to read my book.
Yeah. Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
It is an ode to autumn, so it works. All right, we are coming to the end of our time here, so we're going to wrap up, and I'd love to ask any of you to pitch yourself one more time and let me know if you're working on anything new that you'd love to share. We'll go backwards this time. We'll start with Haylock.
This whole time I've been trying not. My inclination is to answer every question straight away, so I've been like,
I love it. It's great because sometimes there's that awkward like 10-second pause where no one knows who to talk. It's just go for it.
That 10 seconds is my brain going, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Yeah. All right, so the series I have out is Heretical Fishing. I am still working on that. Book 5 is slated for release in December, the audio in April. And I don't have, I can share something I'm working on. The running title is Gardens, Goblins, and Gunpowder. It is a sapphic romance, and that is all I will say.
It doesn't sound like it involves fishing.
We can squeeze it in. The F didn't really go with the alliteration, so otherwise I would have definitely snuck it in. Yeah.
I love it. Elle, how about you?
Okay, so again, I have a couple different series, but the Marine Magic series has How to Care for Cursed Fish, and then the second book just came out over the summer, How to Treat Talking Beasts. So that's not my current project, but like current project still in developmental stages. I had the latest mystery just came out 2 weeks ago, so between those two releases I'm a little bit like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, general state of being.
Yeah.
We'll go with you, Julie.
Okay, so current project. I finished writing it a while ago, but it comes out in 3 days, so I feel like I've got to pitch it. The Keeper of Magical Things. It is set in the same world as The Teller of Small Fortunes, but it is a standalone, so you don't need to have read Teller to read it. It is a sapphic cozy fantasy about 2 mages from the Guild of Mages, a novice and a full mage, who are sent on a magical assignment with a bunch of misbehaving, slightly magical artifacts. And yeah, it's Stardew Valley meets Warehouse 13, and it's for anybody who likes side quests and either of those two comps.
I love it.
Well, my book that's coming out
sounds like
also is a Nest of Magic, and my camera's blurring it for me very helpfully.
Try and put it in front of you, maybe, like under your chin.
Yeah.
That'll get the
There you go.
Yes, this is my face.
Oh, beautiful. I love the cover.
It is a low stakes, no spice, grumpy sunshine, sapphic cozy fantasy set in an enchanted forest. You will need a blanket and a cozy beverage, and you will be all set. So look for it. It comes out this week.
Nice.
Exciting. I'm Jen. I'm a cozy content creator. Cozy content? No, I'm a fantasy author. I'm a cozy creator. Brain is so gone. I'm from Canada. This has been so much fun. My 3 books are out now. Favorite Fate came out in August. And I am just starting to work on a epic fantasy trilogy with a character from the second story, which is very fun. For necromancy, pirates, all that kind of stuff. Not cozy, but very fun. So I'm excited to get into it. I love the brainstorming of everything. But yes, thank you guys so much for being such an amazing panel. And thank you guys in the chat for being so fun in the comments. And I think that wraps us up for the day.